Let's talk about some shocking money stats for the average American. And if you're a viewer of my channel, you're likely immune to many of these things, but unfortunately, most of us are not immune to all of them. So let's jump in. I want to start off with an article by Saveology. They've got a lot of good data, and I'm going to weave in my thoughts as we go. So the article is called Americans Are Struggling Financially. They list 13 financial statistics you need to know. And the first one is almost three-fourths, 69% of households have less than $1,000 in emergency savings. And what does that mean in practice? It means if your car breaks down and it's anything other than a minor expense, it means if you fall and you break your arm, it means you're likely putting that on your credit card that eventually is going to be charging 20, 25, 30% interest. So, um, super important. It's the number one thing any financial advisor is going to tell you that you should set your money towards. And the reason is it gives you flexibility and it gives you time. And the ideal situation is have 3 to 6 months worth of your living expenses. So if God forbid you were to lose your job and the economy is getting tough, it gives you time to find the right job for you. And then, like in the examples I listed earlier, the broken arm or the car, it also gives you alternatives other than high cost ways of accessing money when unexpected things happen. Okay, the second one, two-thirds of millennials have $0 in retirement savings. And we used to think as millennials as fairly young people. Both of my daughters are millennials and they're approaching their mid 20s and above now. And fortunately, they don't fall into this category. They both, like their dad, have been good savers, but two-thirds of millennials had $0, and 34% of all Americans have $0 in savings. I want to share this chart here from the Wall Street Journal, and it shows 50% have nothing saved for retirement. And if you go all the way to $100,000, you can see that adds up to 80% of all Americans have less than $100,000 saved for retirement. That's not much. Now, sometimes people will push back and say, hey, Azul, there's a difference between having money saved for retirement and like in a 401k or an IRA and just your overall net worth. So let's look at that. This is from the survey Consumer Finance, which is put out by the Federal Reserve. This is the most recent report. And this is the household net worth by age. So if there's two people in a household, this is the net worth of both of them. And it includes the home equity in your home, and about 80% of us over 60 own our own homes. And in general, these numbers here, about half of the net worth we're about to see comes from the value of our home, which is illiquid. So let's see what this looks like. Let's start off with 45 to 54-year-olds. You can see the median net worth, half have more, half have less. It's about 250,000. 55 to 64 is about 365,000. And the number keeps going up when people first retire. So 65 to 74, $410,000. So we do have some money saved up for retirement, but as I said, this includes the illiquid asset of our home, which isn't going to put food on the table and pay our electric bills. So I think we're better than what some of the other stats when we just look at retirement savings, but we still have a long way to go. And one of the things that retirees tend to underestimate, really two things. One is taxes, but second is our healthcare expenses. Super important. If you're on Medicare or you know somebody that you love, as I record this, the United States is in the annual enrollment period, AEP, for 2025, which is October 15th to December 7th. Super important that you check your Medicare each and every year because things change. What your copays are going to be for different prescriptions, your access to certain doctors, facilities, preferred pharmacy. All these things can change. I urge you during this annual enrollment period to reach out to an expert because it's complicated to do on our own and say, am I on the right plan for next year? And that's why I'm proud to partner with today's video sponsor. It's Chapter. They're a Medicare advisor. that I recommend, and here's why I recommend them. 3 reasons. The first is their services are free for you and I to use. The second is that on average, they save their clients $1,100 a year, almost $100 a month. It's certainly worth the few-minute phone call it takes to have that conversation to make sure you're on the right plan. And the third reason is the most important reason, and that is because I believe if you're on the right plan for next year. You call up Chapter, you tell them your situation. If they think you're on the right plan for you, they're going to tell you that. They bring their expertise to your benefit, and that's what I want for you. Why do I feel this way? I feel this way because of reviews like this that have been left on my channel. Yeah, I'll briefly say, Chapter pleasantly surprised. I called thinking they would just try to push hard on some Advantage plan. The guy did not. He actually said original Medicare were the best choices for him. That's what I want for you. Somebody telling you what's best for you. You can reach them at this link, or pro tip, call the phone number here. They're about to get busy. Their phone number is 323-805-8579. And thank you again, Chapter, for sponsoring this video. Okay, back to the Saveology article. The next thing is only 2.5% of households are using the 529 plans. These are the tax advantage college savings for our kids. 529 plans are super powerful. If you use them for qualified expenses, you never pay tax on the gain of the money that you put into that account. Normally, you'd be taxed as ordinary income or capital gains on that, not tax advice. I want this on your radar screen because, in my opinion, 529 accounts are super powerful. I used it almost exclusively to fund 100% of my kids' college education, and, I piled as much money as I could early on to take advantage of that tax-free growth. Okay, the next one is 100 million Americans have outstanding auto loans. That's a lot, and I understand cars are an expensive purchase. The average new car loan is about $750 a month, and almost 20%, I think the exact number is 18%, of new car loans are now for $1,000 a month or more. That's a lot of money. You've worked hard for your money. If a new car is your thing, great. But if it's not your thing and you could be almost as happy with a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old car, pay cash for it, or have a dramatically lower car payment, something worth thinking about. Okay, let's keep going. The article also says it's important, completely agree, obviously, to pay attention to the financial statistics so we don't become one. And one of the best ways to avoid becoming a financial statistic and being in a bad situation is what they talk about next. 72% of households do not have a written financial plan. And if that's you, if you don't have a written financial plan, there's an easy solution to that, and that is to come up with one. Either work with a financial advisor or use software that will help you build your own plan well. The software I like is called Bolden. It's easy to use, it's powerful, it's affordable. Even if you trust your Excel spreadsheet, if you build it yourself, your spouse isn't going to. So use Bolden instead. I am an affiliate. You'll be supporting the channel if you use this link. Okay, let's keep going. Now we're going to talk about some student loans. Almost 50 million Americans have outstanding student loans. And if you think that the crisis just for young people, you're going to be surprised. This is the average remaining student loan by age group. And you can see people 40 to 49, 50 to 59 actually have the highest student loan balances. And even people 60 plus, some of whom owe almost $36,000 on average. So it's a big deal. The average student loan, according to the Saveology article, is more than $32,000. And in total, we owe $1.56 trillion across the United States. And unfortunately, 43% of student borrowers are not making their payments. Now, I mentioned earlier about the written plan. It's over 80% of people that have a written plan. Again, bold in the descriptions here. 83% report, let me get the exact quote, report that setting financial goals, they felt better about their finances after just 1 year. And so use bolden, but the point I'm making here is if videos like this resonate with you, if you like the things I'm sharing here, you're gonna love my newsletter, which you can sign up for, below, and if you've made it this far in the video, think about giving me a thumbs up, think about giving me a like, think about commenting and sharing. It really does help get this video out to a broader audience, and if you found this video helpful, this video up here where I talk about why waiting to 65 to retire, why that might be a big mistake. It's an enormously important topic when you decide to retire. I'll see you in that video. Thanks for watching this one. Bye bye.